I am walking in a circle around you. Mario, you cannot handle all this awesomeness. Okay, I gotta stop. Howdy guys, I'm Solid1009. Last time we left off, we did a lot of stuff with this. We had two videos where we literally just focused on joyous pedestal stuff, trading side quests, all for the fact that A, we needed to make this place look pretty with all these flowers and decor, and B, because we wanted to get the pieces of heart that were, waiting in line for us to pick them up. Additionally, we also picked up a magic armor. Sorry, I'm trying to avoid burping because it's too soon for that garbage. Today, what are we doing today, you may wonder? Are we going to finally, finish the game? No, I'm sorry to say this, guys. If you're wanting for me to do that, it's going to be a few videos before we get to that part. I'm sorry to say. In fact, if you want to know a number, it's probably anywhere between 7 and 8 videos, because there's some extra stuff that we need to do. Did I get enough, or... Crap, hang on. Okay, there we go, we got it. So, as I was saying, if you're wondering, how long we're going to take, I said anywhere between 7 and 8 videos. Today's video, just focus on that now, don't be jumping ahead now. We're going to be going to Private Oasis, or Silent S's Oasis as it's called, which is south of Tower of the Gods. So I'm going to meet you guys here. And here we are, at my Oasis. And Mrs. Mary was so kind to part ways with. Thank you so much, Teach, I appreciate it. See what happens when you show your teachers appreciation, they give you nice things. Actually, that's not entirely how it works, but anyway. We're here because, one, I wanted to show off that we had 2 joyous pedestals right outside our front door. And I'm going to go ahead and put the hero's flag because I'm cliche like that, I'm telling you. I can't get creative or outside the box. The other reason I'm here is actually inside the cabana itself. I remember? What am I, a member of some society? Boy, if you don't speak your words, I will kick your teeth down your throat. You'll be pooping out dental work for a week. I remember that I mentioned this a while back. We had well, not this, but this is a picture of Mr. Snotnose, or Zilly, I think is his name, and if not, it's Joel. Future self, correct me. Thanks, dude. And on the other side of the room, you'll see a bunch of lanterns, and you'll see the same photograph, but with a little panel missing, as well as it being messed up. So, Mr. Butler Man, the doorman there, is going to tell us about this. Ah, Master! Do you have an interest in the amusements of nobility? I do, indeed. Well, in that case, would you care to hear an explanation of the game? Indeed, I would. Alright, so here are the controls. Use the control stick to move the panels and try to arrange the picture. I will place the final panel in the top right space to complete the painting. Red text for the win. Very important, excuse me, for what we're going to be doing. Oh, and Master, please bear in mind that this game is for the amusement only. If you are successful, all I can really offer as a reward is money. Do you remember that? Hey, I have no complaints there. Do you understand this game? The rules escape me. Yes, they most certainly do. Very good, Master. Please enjoy yourself. Okay, so, if you remember the picture on the the other side of this room, you'll want to keep that in mind if you don't have photographic memory, and if you do, or if you don't rather, that's fine too. You don't need photographic memory to do this. You can kind of visualize and be like, oh yeah, that looks like that fits there. So that's pretty much how when I first played this game, that's what I did. I didn't really strategically go about doing this. I just kind of went with it, which probably wasn't the smartest thing. But what we gotta do is we gotta fill in the picture. There's a strategy that I like to use, and it may not necessarily be the most efficient one, because, there are lots of ways I'm sure to do this. First off, I like to focus on the top. You'll notice I was focusing on getting the top part. And when I say the top, I mean the top 3 left pieces, because the rightmost corner piece is missing. So there's going to be a piece up there that doesn't belong for temporary purposes, because, there's a little system I have for this. So once I've completed the top, then I need to focus on the bottom, and this here is actually a bottom piece, so we need to find a way to move that out of the place. Okay, there we go. I can put that up there, that's fine. Alright, now we want to focus on getting the bottom completed. This looks like the tip of his hand, specifically his left hand, so we're going to go ahead and put this over in the corner there, and then we'll go ahead and just slip that right in there, and then of course I can see that's the middle piece. So what's missing is the Is that his right arm on this piece right here? Yeah, I think that's his right arm. Okay. So let's go ahead and get that in there. Alright, so the way to get this in is we're going to have to rotate this around in a rectangular fashion. So up, right, or left, down, and then we got to put this piece here in front of this piece. So we're going to cut in front here and detonate, drop that over there, shift the rectangle around a bit, move this around and make sure this piece right here gets right behind that piece. And then, jeez man, this sounds terrible when you try to put substance to it. And then with that, we've completed the bottom. So now all that's left is the left, the right, the middle, and then of course he's going to fill in the last piece on the upper right hand corner. Next I would say focus on the left side, because that's going to be the easiest of the two beasts. The right side gets a little complicated. Okay, so that piece looks like that goes there, which means I need a bottom cheek, the bottom left cheek, so that looks like this piece right here. Okay, we can do that. Let's do this. We'll start with a 6x6 rectangle here, moving this around. Actually, hang on. There we go. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Now we're making some progress. Alright, here we go. We got the left side. And let's see, what's the next step? We need to... This is where it gets a little messy. To explain anyway, at least. Not to do, necessarily. We need the piece that's going to go right here, which is this piece. This piece that's going to go right here, we need it in the upper right corner temporarily. So we need to rotate this 6x6 rectangle around a bit until we get this piece and this piece, but this piece here needs to be in front of this piece, if that makes any sense. If it doesn't, that's no big deal. I will try to see if I can do a better job at explaining it, but we're going to go ahead and do that. Jeez. Move these pieces around accordingly, so that way, you know, as we're moving this little rectangle around here. There we go, okay. And then like that we have this, the cheek piece. I gotta stop saying this piece because that does no good for context purposes in the upper right corner. Next I need the bottom cheek underneath it, so let's go ahead and move that right there. Okay. And then the next step, what you would do is the piece that goes right here in the bottom right middle, you would need to make sure it goes right underneath the stack right here. These pieces that I just moved up here, like so. And then what you would do is you rotate the middle around until it fits, and then you slide this bottom right middle piece in his mouth, in other words, or a good chunk of the snot, minus the bottom row, of course. Then slide these down, and then bam. That's how you would complete each of these puzzles, actually. And with that, the lantern lights up, and he's like,
"Well done, Master. Well done indeed. Ah, you are among the most talented gamesmiths of the noble classes.
yeah.
I offer you this as an expression of my respect and admiration of your skills. Please accept it."
What you gonna give me? Oh, he craps out a bunch of rupees.
Use it wisely, heart.
Aw, so sweet. So he gives us 50 rupees. And he will do this each time we complete a piece. Man, are you whistling? Seriously? It's this early in the video. What are you doing? You're crazy! Ah! Anywho, as I was saying, you will notice that there are lanterns on the side here. Well, each lantern represents a puzzle slider, to be more specific. And what you would want to do if you're up for a challenge, just for something fun to do, and if you need some rupees, you're going to complete each puzzle, and you will get 50 rupees for it, except for the 16th puzzle, and I'll get into that when we get to it. But for now, what you got to do is you got to leave, and then re-enter. Woo! Yay! And there's a new puzzle right there, and for reference, you can look at the complete puzzle, so that way you don't get completely lost. Now, before I get started on this whole montage thing, because I have a feeling I'm probably going to do some speeding up or something, I want to do something real quick. If you go in and say, "I do indeed want to play this, no thank you for the rules," and then you decide to quit or cancel.
Do you wish to quit, Master?
Sadly, I must quit.
I am sorry to have bothered you with such a trifling thing. Most terribly sorry.
All of a sudden I become painfully aware of my existence as a door.
Jeez, dude, I'm sorry.
Man, way to make the guy feel like crap, Silent Senior, man. I just had to show that at least once.
Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to go ahead and just do a little speed up montage, and I have no idea what else I'm going to do besides that. But here we go, we're going to go and get started. Woo-wee! Look at that movie magic editing, man. Look at it! Getting all fast-forwardy and all that crap. Yeah, like you guys haven't seen that before. Of course you have. I've done it like a gajillion times. So yeah, this is me post-commentating, ladies and gentlemen. This is Future Self, or Future Silent Senior 09. Woohoo! Hey, how you doing? It's been a while since I've had a moment to kind of shine here. In fact, this is probably the first time I've actually been able to, like, you know, have a solid conversation with you all for a few moments or so. Actually, it's going to be about 18 minutes, just a little spoiler, FYI. So, we're here on picture 2. It's RL, actually. And for the most part, when I was going through these, they weren't really too bad. Like this one, boom, it's already done, and we're moving on to the third puzzle already. A lot of the puzzles that had clouds in them, like this one right here, we're dealing with Tingle. I noticed I was having a bit of an issue because even after I was focusing intently, because what I would do before I would start these, I would go to the other side of the room, look at the complete picture, and then kind of try and trace in my mind, or sketch in my mind rather, not trace, because I usually don't, I prefer not to sketch, or I prefer not to trace rather, I prefer to sketch things whenever I draw. If I'm going to do something that's like, okay, I'm watching something, I'm going to draw down that detail, then watch it, and then draw it down again, you know. Basically the definition of sketching. But anyway, a lot of the pictures had clouds in them. I had a lot of trouble with them, even after having focused intently on the details, so you may notice me having to pause for a second, like this one here. I was like, what do I do? Which way did he go, George? Which way did he go? And there's going to be a few of them that aren't necessarily cloud-oriented, but they are, like, loaded with floor patterns or wall patterns, and I'm sitting there thinking, like, what the hell do I do with this crap? Yeah, great, another cloud one, that's what I thought. My expression was pretty much the same as Salvador's here. I was like, oh, lovely, another one of these, huh? But yeah, this was kind of a fun little time waster, if you will. That's what I guess I would consider it. I don't know, maybe you consider it more of something meaningful or whatever, but I do realize this is more or less something you can do for funsies. You don't really get anything, as I remember saying before, you just get a bunch of rupees, so... Anyway, me talking about random nonsense. I guess I could probably take this time to kind of discuss how I think this project's going, this Let's Play of Wind Waker, anyway, because I'm sure some of you are possibly wondering, because You gonna serve there, boy? I mean, there are moments where I drop a little hint saying, oh, I'm happy about this, or I'm getting burnt out with that. For the most part, I've really been enjoying myself doing this, doing every little side quest and whatnot, which I know sounds weird to some people, but, you know, for the most part, it's been a good time, really good time. I do realize some people would probably think, like, wow, you're really trucking it, dude. I'm just saying, I don't know how you do this, really, because, I mean, you don't get a whole lot of comments on a lot of your videos, at least now. I'm sure down the road, maybe there may be a random comment or two that just gets dropped, and people are like, hey, awesome, yeah, keep it up, man, I'm glad you did this, you know, because I know how it is. Sometimes you don't get really recognition for stuff you do until years down or months down the road. Because I'm not even kidding you, like my Pokemon Puzzle League Let's Play, for example. I kid you not, every time I turn around, I'm looking at, like, the analytics sometimes, when I'm looking at the view count and whatnot. Just kind of a little, give you guys a little view of my world, if you will. Or my, or rather the production world, if you will. For some reason, the 2-player stadium video, I don't know what it is, but that one video just gets a crap ton of views. I think it may have something to do with the fact that, A, I'm getting my butt kicked in that, and anytime Silent Senior gets into a failure montage or gets into a moment where he gets his booty kicked, I've noticed that I have some sadistic viewers that seem to enjoy it when I'm in pain. Both in video or just hooting and hollering. That, and of course, it's, you know, 2-player, so people are like, ooh, 2-player, not many people decide to do this, you know, unless they have a player 2, and I didn't really have a player 2, but I was like, yeah, it's a feature, gotta show it off in the game. But, anyway, let's resort the commentary back to this game. This game, it's been a lot longer than I thought it would be, honestly. I did say I was enjoying myself, but I will admit there were a lot more stuff to cover than I initially thought. Like, I knew about the figurine side quest, I knew about all the heart pieces, all the sailing I'd have to do, and whatnot, and all the treasure hunting. And I knew that the battle system in this game would be relatively fun and easy to do. But I will say this, I have to admit that even with knowing all this information, I have found that, oh my gosh, this part here is literally its own video. Like, I can split this into 2 parts. Like, there have been moments where I'm like, oh yeah, this is all when I record some content, I'll be like, yeah, that's all gonna be one video. And then I come to find out in post-editing, I'm like, I better go and split that. That's a bit much to be cramming into one little gigantic video source there. Oh yeah, I should probably point out, this one I get really kind of irritated about because there's a point where I get screwed up on the bottom specifically, because there's like a green pattern on the bottom left corner. Currently that piece is actually incorrect, and I don't realize it until I start to finally get it all put together, and I'm like, what the heck, man, why is it not working? And then as soon as I, like, look again, I'm like, oh, dang it, I knew for a fact I would screw that up. I was hoping I could avoid it, but nope, I done goofed. It's crap like that that sometimes can get you in this little puzzle slider minigame here on my cars especially. There's another one actually a little bit later where I always mix up the corner tiles because they look literally identical. So it's like, how the hell are you supposed to tell the difference? I mean, unless you're staring at the screen from like 2 inches or 2 centimeters. Give or take, I don't know. Clearly I don't know distance. Yeah, here's that point where I'm like, what the hell, man? Why is it not working? It should be working, and then it takes me a moment, and I look again, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta get this stupid piece right here that I got on the top right, and move it to the bottom left, and then shift it around without making too much of a mess. Which really was just irritating, more or less, because I was like, man, this is gonna be a pain in the butt to edit, but truly, it wasn't too bad. But anyway, I don't want to talk tech talk the whole time here, because that's boring, and I don't want to, like, bore you guys to tears. Or bore your tears out of your eyes, however you prefer to look at it. So far so good. We're moving along rather nicely. I mean, we got snagged a little bit there, but from here on out, it's going to be smooth sailing. Sailing, yeah. That's what we've been doing a lot in this game. Until I reach, I forget which painting it is, or picture it is, but there's one with, a rather, swabbish character. I'm not going to say who his name is. I'm sure somebody probably already knows. But he's one of Tetris crew members, actually. He's really cool. I do know who he is, don't get me wrong, it's just I didn't want to spoil it yet. I don't know how many of you have actually bothered to do this, or if you're like, ooh, wow, they have a lot of different pictures and, like, designs and patterns they have you doing. Oh yeah, they give you plenty to do with this thing. I mean, they got 16 puzzles altogether, so that'll be exciting to see. It's kind of cool seeing how, like, it comes together as I gradually work my way to the top and the bottom, because it looks like I'm just making a humongous mess at the beginning, and then as I gradually flick things around, almost at flip, and that wouldn't be the correct term, because if you flip them, that means we're mirroring them or flipping them over, which wouldn't be correct. They don't care, dude, if you're being correct. Stop trying to be correct, man. You don't even care about being politically correct, so what makes you think you're going to start caring about being correct about details? I mean, goodness. Of course, then again, I am pretty anal about making sure if I make a mistake, factually especially, I try to correct myself, although there are a few times I've noticed I've missed them, and some of you have been kind enough to point it out without being too belittling, if you will, which, thank goodness, because I mean, I sometimes feel like I belittle you all enough as is, because my commentary, you know, I'm not the greatest with just kind of talking to you like, oh yeah, they know this much, you know, I don't have to keep being so, like, descriptive or informative. What am I doing here? I must be brain farting, or farting brains, or frame barding, ooh. Anyway, yeah, forgive me if this is really, like, awful and just horrendous and hellacious to tune into, but thankfully this is the only video that I really plan on post-commentating, to be honest, because everything else I've done in this Let's Play so far, this Wind Waker Let's Play, has not been post-commentated at all. And I know it probably seems like it has been, but for the most part, no, it has not. Well, for the most part. Every episode to this point has not, but this one is just like, I don't know what else to do with it other than to do that or play music. And I don't really know anybody, like, I mean, I know somebody personally, but, you know, he's been busy, pretty much, so I don't want to disturb him too much, because he's probably got a lot on his plate, as is. But besides him, I don't really know anybody who's music savvy, so I can't really, like, look somebody up to who can remake some Legend of Zelda music. I mean, and there are some people out there who I watch or am subscribed to, and they do basically that. They remix music, they make some kick-ass stuff. I mean, pardon my French, but still, it's awesome. But I feel like I don't know them personally, so I'm like, I don't know if that would be such a good idea to ask them that, you know. I feel like I'd be a little too intrusive, because, you know, you gotta keep in mind sometimes it's like, yeah, I really like their content, they see me comment a lot, but it's also like a matter of, I don't want to feel like I'm entitled, you know, so like, oh, I've been your fan since this date or that date, so I get first dibs on, you know, this or that, or I get first dibs on requesting your help, and if I need help, you should help me first before you help another person, you know. I don't want to ever come across as that way to anybody who I happen to be subscribed to or what have you. Because that's sometimes, it's easy to do that sometimes if you're not careful, because you're like, you get this sense of, not necessarily entitlement, but you get this sense of pride, because you're like, oh yeah, I've been around since the Dark Ages, oh yeah, let me tell you a thing or two. And I mean, it's good to tell stories and whatnot, but you just gotta be careful not to let that go to your head, like, you know, yeah, you're in the know, if you will, with somebody, if you happen to be a fan of somebody online, and maybe not necessarily YouTube, but just anywhere, basically, you're a fan of their work, and you happen to know them personally, you know, you don't want to come across as conceited or entitled because you're like, oh yeah, I know them, I get first dibs at that, or you should, as soon as I need help, I need to ask you. But anyway, I don't know how the hell I got on this topic. Already on, like, let's see, how many paintings is that? That's like 8, 9, 10, so that's 10, this is number 11 then. So, pretty cool, pretty cool. It's weird that they chose the Potion Shop Master, really. I mean, well, I suppose I shouldn't say that's, like, entirely weird, because they did pick some really oddball characters, and then they picked some that are like, yeah, that's significant. Like, we had Medley, we had Makar, although his painting was a pain in the butt to do. And then, of course, we had Tingle, which, you know, as much as I hate to admit it, because that jerk-off, like, took a bunch of my rupees, he is rather significant in, like, playing the part of helping the hero out and locating those Triforce shards, which we have yet to do. We will be doing that, but not yet, anytime soon. I think I mentioned, like, at the end of the video, or when I get back to live commentary, I mentioned, like, okay, well, this is what we're going to do next, and this is all we have left to do, basically. But just in case that escapes me, which I don't think it has, because I remember just listening to myself a few seconds ago, actually, but I figured for the sake of clarification now, if you happen to be tuning into this, bless your soul. I pretty much have this video, which is this puzzle slider video, which I know it's long, I apologize. But I pretty much was like, yeah, I promised I'd do it, I gotta go ahead and do it, so yeah, here we go. After this, we have pretty much some Tingle Tuner stuff, and then we have figurine collecting, which I predict is going to take like a total of 5 videos. You know, 2 videos for the Tingle Tuner stuff and 3 more for the figurine stuff. And then after that, we're just going to go starting right into finding the Triforce shards, and then basically heading toward the end of the game. And so probably by about part 121, we'll have this Let's Play finished up, so that'll be awesome. Wow, this is actually a very beautiful picture. Of course, again, I say that, and it's not even done yet. I guess that's the only plus side with the with the puzzle slider pictures that have lots of clouds on them, is they do look really beautiful and pretty. I mean, especially on whenever I watch Mal Makes, whenever she paints her clouds, oh my gosh, she does an amazing job. Yeah! And just amazing work in general when she paints clouds. And it's funny when I listen to her talk about how, like, oh, I don't really like this cloud, or I didn't like how this turned out. I'm like, that is the prettiest damn cloud I've ever seen. I don't know what you're talking about, but then again, I don't necessarily have the eyes that she does, you know, because it's different when somebody says they point this out, this detail or that detail out, and they're like critiquing it and whatnot. And it's not so much to say that they're being negative or they're picking out, or they're picking just to be picking. It's just they may have an eye for a certain type of detail that, you know, irks them, if you will. What the hell happened here? Oh, I think I may have accidentally left a cloud some... Oh yeah, that's what it was. I think I ended up swapping a cloud. Alright, now we're on this one. This is that crew member I was talking about, Nico. This one is a pain in the butt. There are 2 corner tiles on the bottom left and right that look very similar, and I'm going to screw this up, just to FYI. And I wouldn't be surprised if you go and do it and you tell me in the comments, oh, I did the same thing, this is so stupid. Yeah, or if you even bother doing this, of course. Because I know this is not exactly a top priority for a lot of people, especially people who are doing Let's Plays, and they're like, what am I gonna cover? I don't care about covering this, you know. This is like roll goal stuff, like, for the longest time, like the roll goal in Twilight Princess. And for the longest time when I was playing Twilight Princess, I know this is kind of off tangent, but hey, this whole commentary's been off track and off tangent for the worst of it, you know, or for the most of it. I didn't know about the roll goal at all. Like, I didn't even know that existed until I think it was Nintendo Capri Sun when I was watching his Let's Play of it. Yeah, this is that part where I'm like, what the fudge, man? What the fudge? Why isn't that working? And I was like, aw, you stupid piece. Got it working. Anyway, jeez. Well, thankfully, this will hopefully be the first and last time I have to do this for some time. Or maybe I should just, like, you know, treat this as a learning experience and be like, yeah, I'll get better as I have to post-commentate. It's weird because you would think live commentating would be so much harder, and in some respects, it is very challenging because you have to remain very energetic while you're having to do something, and you're having to maybe focus. Like, for example, when I was doing my Pokemon Puzzle League Let's Play, like, there were a lot of moments where I had to concentrate. But I think the great saving grace in that one is because there were so many jump cuts, I had moments where I could just kind of inhale, exhale, and then pause and breathe for a sec. Especially when I use the excuse of, oh, well, hold on, I gotta think about this for a minute, and it wasn't so much an excuse. Alright, stop it, buddy, you're not gonna hiccup and cause some post-commentating burps and hiccups, man. We say that stuff for the live commentary, seriously. But yeah, when I was doing that, and there were moments where I could just kind of pause, I'm like, I use those moments sometimes also to be like, okay, well, I'm going to be cutting all this out, so it doesn't matter how long I take to pause here, so I'm just going to go ahead and pause and do this or that. And sometimes I would even go as far as to go take a potty break, you know? And then take a moment to kind of reflect and think like, yeah, so far so good, I like what's happening, you know? This looks so weird, the way Beetle's hands and arms, like, are gangly and just hanging out like that. That was a weird one. Alright, so we're on the semi-final puzzle, the Moblin. This one's actually pretty cool. Oh, snap, it's raining outside. Sorry. I happen to hear some... And I'm like, what the hell was that? And I look on that to my left, and there's a window, and it's got a bunch of raindrops pattering against it. Welcome to Florida. The most tropical-filled state where it always rains, it feels like. Oh, good news for y'all. We're getting toward the end of this. Woohoo! Yeah! Alright. That's gotta be some good news for somebody out there, I'm sure, because this has probably been like nothing more than me being a podcaster, and I'm just... If this is any indication how I'm going to be as a podcaster if I ever decide to do any podcasts, which I don't really plan on it, to be honest. I don't really think anybody's going to want me to be part of it, because I'm not really that interesting, to be truthful. I mean, sure, I do voices and whatnot, and I have my moments where I do rants and storytelling, but whoopie-doodle. That only gets you so far until you can, like, think on the fly like that, you know, snap of a finger. You know, snap your fingers, do the step. You can do it all by yourself, baby girl. What's your name? Okay, don't be singing, dude. They aren't here for that crap. So the last one here is Helmer Rock King, and this is actually really cool what happens when you complete this last puzzle. And I think it kind of just jump cuts into it once we finish up here, which means I'm going to have to shut up in a second and find a way to transition into saying, okay, we're done. I'll pass this torch on to the past self, you know? Hey, hey, hey. Man, Rain, would you chill? I don't know if you guys can hear that, but whew, it's coming down hard out there. Okay, come on, dude. I know you can do it. I have faith in you. Get those clouds in, man. Get those freaking clouds in. Get those freaking clouds in there, man. Paint the sky orange or purple. Yeah, there you go. Now you're starting to get it. Starting to look all beautiful, man. All beautiful. Oh, man, come on. You're letting me down! Dude! What are you doing? Yeah, the tail goes down there. Hello? Hey, hey, hey. Thank you. You're getting there. You're getting close. Now, one more time. Come on. There you go. Come on. You can do it. And there you go. Alright. See you guys.
Well done, Master. Well done indeed. You are among the most talented gamesmiths of the noble classes. I offer you this as an expression of my respect and admiration of your skills. Please accept it.
Gladly. So, for completing all 16 puzzles, instead of getting just the usual 50 rupees,
Use it wisely. Heart.
this guy gives us a whopping 200 rupees. Yeah. So, hopefully that wasn't too much of a drag for you. I do apologize. I know this is not the usual norm for Silent Senior 09, but I was like, okay, well, I promised I would cover this topic, and I can't really go back on my promise on that. And I didn't really feel like making you guys watch me commentate through, like, the entire thing, like, at normal pace would have done anything. So I decided, yeah, let's just go ahead and not do that. Anyway, once you've completed the puzzle, the last sliding puzzle, if you decide to come back in here again, you'll notice that the lanterns are no longer lit. And we start with Joel or Zilly, whichever I named him. I already had Future Self correct me, so I'm not going to bother with it. yeah, this is a good way you can grind for rupees. I hope you all enjoyed this, and if you didn't, well, fret not. Next time we meet, we're going to do something else. Hopefully my future self thought of something cool to do with the footage. Maybe I decided to post-commentate it, I don't know, and if he did, cool beans. If not, that's cool too. We'll figure something out. Anyway, now that we are done with the puzzle slider, we've decorated the cabana a little bit. All that's left really for me to do is the Tingle Tuner stuff and the figurine collecting stuff. Next time we meet, if you don't stop whistling, I'm gonna call Yeller in here, man. Shut up, buddy. Next time we meet, we're gonna do the Tingle Tuner stuff. Thank you so much for watching. Love you bunches. Don't let your toe slap, and I'll see you next time with hopefully less bodily functions. I'm telling you what. Jeez.